let's shut this off for now. We need to talk. We need to talk about this truck. Shut the door here so we have a better sound, and I'm gonna tell you all about what it took to get the truck to this stage. And I also have to admit to you that at this point I have never driven this truck yet. It is still in the exact same place that it was when I first bought it at the beginning of, was it March? Yeah, it was in March. So this truck, I'm gonna tell you what the status is here financially, what this actually costs to get the truck to this stage. All right, I got a figure here for you. You want to know the figure right away, or you want me to guide you through the process? I think that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna go through the entire process of the cost of restoring this truck, and it's still an ugly rust bucket. We're not done. We're not anywhere near done. So I purchased it for $1,100 on March the 9th. Over the next month, over the month of March, I think I told you that in another video, the cost went up to $1,874.58. $1,800 doesn't sound bad for a pickup truck that has an engine that is complete, that is totally complete. Everything was basically there, well, except for some minor things, as I found out later. I'm just looking to orient myself. I got this book here. See, I keep track of everything I spend because of this truck. And even if I buy some tools that I will use for all kinds of other things, I still put it here because I probably wouldn't have bought it otherwise. So in March, I bought carpet. It was only 20 bucks, Marketplace. It's beautiful. I mean, sort of. Look at this, went better than expected. You still see dirt here, you know, but it's not ruined or anything. What I have to do is clean the dash. It's still filthy. $327, I bought some tools for 50 bucks. I didn't write down what it was. I should have. It was probably the impact sockets or something like that. I don't know. I bought balance beads for the tires. By the way, the tires, I bought them used on Marketplace. I already found some problem with one of them, and the other three, if I'm lucky with them, they'll probably get me through the first year or so, but they're temporary. It's the best I could do at the time, trying to spend not too much money. Of course, in hindsight, the smarter way probably would have been to just go and get brand new tires. You know, it's commitment. But when you're just at the beginning like this, you know, any tire is like better than what was on there. So, bought a shop vac. This I need for my business, but it was a really good deal, $51.95. Throttle body overhaul kit, $48.64. Battery charger, $38 something. Brake drums for the pair, $165.66. Amazon. By the way, these are all Canadian prices, Canadian dollars, so maybe not that terrible. April 19th, I bought some carburetor cleaner and floor mats. That really wasn't necessary yet, but I saw them. I think they were on special, and they're clear. So, you know, after having done the carpet, this was what I wanted. Then I had a problem with the fitting that was in my intake manifold. The fitting broke, and I had to drill it out and like cut it, saw it. Like, it was really hard to get out. It took me a few days to do this. And so I bought a replacement fitting with the hose barb for $27.28 at Canadian Tire. Bought some heater hose at Princess Auto, $11.92. Bought a flaring tool for $30.44. This is all including the GST, by the way, at Canadian Tire. Then at the last thing that I have written down here for the month of April is $85.69. The wheel cylinders for the rear brakes, the shoes, and even the hose, the brake hose for the back. In May, I spent money on fuel lines and heater hose, $104.96 at a place called Greg Distributors. This was insane. I think I could have got this cheaper somewhere else. I just didn't bother checking. My fault. But, you know, in the big picture, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Then I went to the Pick and Pull, then kind of the next day or 2 days later, spent $105 there. That included a heater core. That included, I can't remember. It was mostly little stuff, actually. It wasn't that big a thing, but then I needed more truck parts. Canadian Tire, $19.39, basically $20, right? And clamps, Princess Auto, $6.29. Different kind of clamp. I was doing my fuel lines still, you know, sheet metal. Princess Auto. I bought 2 sheets that were $62.98 for the 2, because they're normally each there are $10 more, so I saved some money there. This is for the body work, and it's something I haven't started on really, except some minor things underneath the box that you don't see from the outside of the truck. What did I? Sheet metal. Truck parts, Canadian Tire. Truck parts, Canadian Tire. There are 2 entries here within 3 days. They're each $15 something. Panels for box, JJ Pony. This is an online parts for classic body parts. So I ordered the rear wheel wells for each side because they were on a Memorial Day special. So I figured, hey, I'll never get them as cheap as this, and I tried to get some here locally, and you know, they're way more expensive. Now the problem with that is I ordered these on May 21st, and today we're June the 9th, and the other day I got an email saying that they're going to be expected to be shipped out around July something, you know, mid-July. Was it the 18th? I'm hoping it was maybe a little bit sooner, but who am I kidding, you know? This is probably going to be just about the timing that'll happen, because I can't do that much. I'm too busy with other stuff. That's the big deal. I got paint and primer, cost $79.84, but that's not for the whole truck. I was planning to do a 2-tone, so I starting on the roof there. Actually, I'm going to do some of that today. I put some primer on there already. It's been on for a week now, and the top of the truck's going to be blue, the middle going to be white, just like it was, and the bottom is going to be some kind of you know, the truck bed liner or something like that. Plastic pan. Bought a plastic pan to eventually drain my transmission. I want it really clean so that I can see if there's any crap in there. Paint supplies, Dollarama, $11.03. That's just, I thought I'd paint the truck with the foam rollers, but I'm thinking that probably I'd be better off with the brush, because the foam rollers are made of bubbles, I noticed, and you get an orange peel texture. So yeah, there might be a trick to do it smoother with the brush. I bought rear shocks at Parts King, $73.74. They're already installed. Bolts and nuts, Rona, because they didn't come with bolts and nuts, and the old ones, well, they were in terrible shape. Some of them broke. Was $15.91 just for 4 bolts, nuts, washers. They have to be grade 8. I pull, you pull is the junkyard. I bought a fender for the driver's side front because mine is really bad. I bought a tailgate latch, the tailgate handle. So after that, this was up to May the 30th. And then the last thing I bought was $149 something for the front suspension kit. I still haven't bought the parts for the brakes in the front. I got some brake hoses. The brake lines are all made. Now, I am wondering, I didn't mention the brake lines. They must have been somewhere on here. This was an Amazon order. If they're not on here, you can add $50 to all this because they weren't that expensive. But so far, what I have for the total up to the end of May is $3,315.35. Add $150, like add say $200, about $3,500. And so far the truck is in way better shape than it was before. There's some things that are actually done on it, but it is nowhere near roadworthy and drivable. I haven't finished the front end at all. Even once I got that done, I still have to address the transmission in some meaningful manner. Eventually, before it actually goes on the road, the truck will need a tune-up. So this truck needs a whole lot of stuff still, and at times it seems like there's no end in sight. So I want to tell you, in 2013, I bought a Ford F-150 that was in much better shape than this. It was a 1997. That's the one that was stolen from me after 9 years of usage. And I didn't put anywhere near that kind of money in that truck. So I was really lucky back then. I mean, over time, of course, I spent money on maintaining it. I had some repairs on it, but it was relatively minor for an old truck. And the truck was reliable. It was really a pleasure to own that truck, 1997 F-150. So what I have here now, it's like a project. It's nowhere near done. I like working on it and everything, but I have to be honest with you that so far, as far as I've come and stuff, I'm a bit overwhelmed about what it already cost me and how there is still hundreds of dollars to be spent. I mean, it's not going to stop. It's going to exceed $5,000 easily by the time it's all done. And the only way I really get that investment back is by like sticking with it, completing this truck, eventually using it for the next 5-6 years or so for my work, maybe longer than that. I mean, it's getting a lot of new stuff. It's getting a lot of new parts. But by the end of it, if I don't do a really nice job on the bodywork and stuff, it's still going to be an old rust bucket. Let's be honest about it. Now, you might be wondering, there are some guys on YouTube who have these like junkyard digs or the low buck garage and stuff. And it's amazing what they can do with old trucks, and by the time they fix them up and that, it never seems like it costs them thousands and thousands of dollars. And even with this one costing what it costs, if you were to count the labor, like if I had to pay somebody to do something on this truck, you know how fast that would add up? So if you're looking into buying a pickup truck, like, I cannot give you any advice because I really have no clue. By the time you buy, just get lucky. I mean, get a good used one, get it checked over, and, spend whatever, maybe $6,000, $10,000. When I started this, I didn't have the 10 grand, and I was even leery about spending $1,500. This truck was advertised for $1,500. I bargained it down a little bit. In the end, the purchasing price doesn't even matter that much. It's what you have to do on it. And when you buy a truck that hasn't been running for a number of years, you don't really know. I mean, there are things that might be salvageable, but basically in your mind, you have to get ready just to replace everything. Now, would I buy this truck again had I known in March what how much this would cost, you know, I don't even want to elaborate on that, because I probably have a moment where I say, oh my God, no, there are so many other ones that are on Marketplace. Maybe they're better. Maybe they're better. I've even seen trucks for $1,500 that are like running and everything. But when you read through the text, there's always some stuff, you know, and then you don't really know if they're really any better than this. Pickup trucks do cost money, and if you want one that's reliable, you're not going to get it for $1,500. Nowhere near. And I have to admit something to you too, because I was overhauling the throttle body, and I had shown you in one of my last videos that there was the throttle shaft that had too much play. Then I ordered the parts for that, which was just a set of bushings and a reamer. And I had everything, I'm telling you, I had everything that I did with that was recorded. But it got put off. When am I going to have time to edit that video? Well, I've been too busy, guys. And now, today, I was looking into this, and I looked at, you know, where is that footage? And I have to tell you, it's gone. I must have deleted it when I was cleaning up my desktop on my computer after editing the last video that showed the throttle body. You were able to see on there what was the problem with my throttle body, but I never got the chance to show you what I did to it to alleviate that. I could show you what I bought for it. I can explain it a little bit, but the footage is gone, and I apologize. I had a plan to making a good video of this because I don't think there is too much of that on YouTube. But yeah, that's the way it goes, guys. So let me show you in the shed what I have for this and what I did. Okay, here's the set that I bought. It comes with 8 bushings. There, I have 6 of them left. Yeah, if I ever need to do this again, I have got the bushings, or if anybody that I know needs these, well, just let me know. The other part is this reamer, see? Now, the thing about this reamer is that you would think that you would put it into the chuck from this side, you know, where it's just round. However, you don't. You put this end in there, and see, I have some markings on there to tell me how deep to go. And then you put this side actually into the bore and into the bore on the other side of the throttle body, so that it is stabilized and guided. Because if you don't have any guidance on this, you're going to ream this way too far, and it's not going to fit the bushing. It's just going to get loose and cause you problem, and then you have to put Loctite in there. And so put your drill or whatever you have from this side. Now in my case, I don't have a 1/2 inch kind of drill with a 1/2 inch chuck. Mine is only 3/8. This was too big for it, so I actually did this manually, and it wasn't a problem. It works just as good, but you have to remember to turn it counterclockwise to ream, because it's, well, basically it's upside down. That's the way they made it, but it works really well. I was a bit nervous to cut into my throttle body like that, but as you heard, the truck idles very nicely. It purrs like a kitten. Problem with it now is it's noisy because there's no proper exhaust system on there yet, so that's another thing I have to get. There's the pick and pull, so I'm probably gonna go and try to find something that is used, that is on an old truck like that ended up there. If I don't get lucky that way, well, then it's more parts from Parts King or Amazon or Canadian Tire or whatever, you know. But you can see that, like, there's nothing truck wise that is under $50, unless it's just a clamp or some little piddly thing. And a lot of the bigger parts, it costs you hundreds of dollars. So that's still for a little while that's what it's going to be, and it's kept me from doing a lot of stuff that I usually do in the spring. No, the weather hasn't been too good. I've been a little bit busy with work. I've been but you know, the weeks go by fast, and I was hoping, now it's already June, honestly I was hoping to have that truck on the road by now. I was too optimistic. Yeah, I know that now. In March, it didn't seem like I was, you know. There was some good weather days, and then in my mind it was like, hey, the weather is no problem. I'm gonna be working on that truck. And then you know, parts, well, there are plenty of parts for that old kind of Chevy, you know. There's how many millions of these trucks were built, but nobody gives you parts for free. And sometimes, like with my tires, for example, or like sometimes you buy something that's used, then it's not that great, you know. So it's always a trade-off. Now, I bought a lot of Chinese made parts, aftermarket parts. I'm hoping they'll all work fine. I didn't go all the premium stuff because, again, I'm not made of money. It's a one step at a time kind of thing, and at the moment I don't want to make any predictions on how long the rest of the overhaul, restoration, repairs, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to make any predictions on how long the rest of this work's going to take. But yeah, I'll get it to run. Hopefully, I'll actually be using it this summer for work. But we're pretty much in summer now, and it's not done. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Leave me a comment. Have you ever done anything like that? I mean, I've done stuff like that before, but they were always cars that were basically still on the road, and they all needed repairs. But I've never had anything that was just, you know, like this, with everything needed to be done. Anyways, you live and learn. And like, do I have regrets? Not really, because I've come quite far. But did I have surprises? Oh yeah, for sure. And there are still more things that I haven't figured out, but you know, that's how it goes. And I mean, I am a pretty good mechanic, but I don't know everything. And even on an 89, I have to sometimes look stuff up. So anyways, I'd appreciate your comments as always. And if you give me a thumbs up for this video, well, then it'll at least give me some more distribution, some more views, maybe some new subscribers. And I thank you for that. Have a good day.